Hello and happy Friday to all of you out there, wherever you are and whenever you may be listening. Tonight's WKMCTV broadcast is unique in that we'll be joined by some of our partners from Hughesville area, so we'll talk about that as we go. But it's also going to be sponsored by Joe Gushin and Vine Street Sandwich Shop. So this matchup's going to feature a PHAC, Pennsylvania Heartland Athletic Conference Division III matchup between the visiting Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes, you see them taking the field now in the white on white, and the home Hughesville Spartans. My name's Jimmy Lesko. Dan is awfully close to me tonight up here in the booth. Jose Gonzalo will support us from the sideline as always, and together we're coming to you live from Harold L. Schaefer Stadium in Hughesville, Pennsylvania. Now the Red Tornadoes are going to come into tonight's matchup at a strong 4-2, riding especially high after a dominating 49-13 victory over Mifflinburg last week. The Red Tornado offense, at least in the big play department, had previously been fairly dormant, but they came alive in a big way last week with their first 4 offensive touchdowns. Offensive because remember, Chapman snuck that one in there on the pick 6, but their first 4 offensive touchdowns averaged a dizzying 55 yards per play. And somehow, in the midst of the excitement, senior tailback Shane Widener put together what will be the quietest 185-yard performance you're ever going to see. And with that in mind, we're going to take a moment of silence here as well for the national anthem. Back here at Harold L. Schaefer Stadium. Again, we've got the Red Tornadoes traveling, the 4-2 Red Tornadoes traveling up I-80 to get to the up to this point winless Spartans. And before the break, we were talking about last week and how Shane Widener put together a terrific performance, 14 carries, 184 yards, and a touchdown. But with everything else going on, Dan, he did it kind of quietly.
Yeah, Jim, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of fanfare, as you said, that went on last week. And you're right, Widener kind of quietly rushed for 184 yards and a score on only 14 carries. So with this huge game last week, as the Red Tornadoes have used week 6 as a springboard in the last few seasons moving forward, making their district playoff runs, Jim, Widener hopes to use it as a springboard toward more 100-plus yard games throughout the remainder of the year. And if last week was any indication of things to come, we can only expect more big things from Widener moving forward.
Yeah, I think spring is a good word there, even though at this point it feels like anything but spring. We're in the mid-50s here for kickoff, a big change from last week, but spring, Widener and really all the Red Tornado rush game last week was sprung by the tremendous play of that offensive line. We talk a lot about how they're constructed. On the inside there, you have Shirok. On his side, you've got Chili, Colin Herb, and Mikowski.
Yep.
And then the freshmen in Matt Kelly and Nick Nestico.
Yep.
And they've done a tremendous job as a unit, giving the Red Tornadoes an opportunity to really pound that rock over the last couple weeks. So, Dan, for the Red Tornadoes to have success tonight, what do they need to do?
Well, that'll take me right to Mount Carmel's keys to the game for tonight. So we're going to go with get off the bus. The Red Tornadoes have to get off the bus. It's a long ride out here to Hughesville, as you said, Jim, so they got to get off the bus, can't play flat-footed. They need to close tonight. They need to really, if they can get a lead, they need to close things out and make sure they finish this game. And can't look ahead. Although these Hughesville Spartans are 0-7, you can't look past them. You have to play every game as it comes, and they got to stay in this game and not look forward to games to come.
Yeah, absolutely, Dan. And on the opposite side of the ball, as we'll see, the Spartans will receive to start the night. Dan, what do the Spartans need to do?
Well, the Spartans of Hughesville here, they need to start fast. They've had a pretty hard time putting points on the board, so it would be big if they could get a score early offensively. They also need to create turnovers on the defensive side. If they can create turnovers, and that'll lead me right into the last key, capitalize on mistakes. So if they can create turnovers and then capitalize and put points on the board, that'll give them a really good shot at getting their first win tonight.
And they're going to get started right here as Chapman's kick. It's going to go to that second line. It'll bounce in front of number 10 for the Spartans. That is Joseph Swink. He'll pick it up and get across the 25. The Spartans will start their first drive of the night at their own 27-yard line.
Yeah, Jim, you talked about there at the beginning here about how it doesn't feel like it has throughout the most of the season so far. So that kick kind of coming off Chapman's foot, a little wobbly there. Possibly the change in temperature. It's a lot colder than it's been. It's hard to get a feel for that ball.
Yeah, I mentioned low 50s. We're actually under 50. I've got 49 here at the start. So the Spartans will come out in what is a true wing split. They're going to hand it right up the middle to number 27, Courtney Yoakum, and he's got nowhere to go. Now, Yoakum's their second leading rusher this year behind fullback Mikey Dailina. Again, 55 for 147 and 2 scores for Yoakum.
Yeah, Red Tornadoes defense there, not fooled on that quick hitter to Yoakum there. Looked like they had a little bit of a run blitz dialed up there. Chapman was in the backfield along with that entire defensive line.
Again, looks like quarterback number 12, Jedediah Webb, is going to be under center. And he's going to hand off to number 4, and that's the aforementioned Dailina. Tries to get to the left side. He's going to lose his footing and get back to the line. Well, he's going to lose a yard, they'll say, so that's going to bring up 3rd and 12 for the Spartans.
Yeah, Jim, as you see there, as you said, Webb in there. But it did look like Dailina lost his footing, and unfortunately, it looked like he had some room there if he was able to keep his feet.
And so we see here, if you look down on the sideline, number 2, Ethan Snyder, a big player for this team last year and certainly this year as well, big receiver. He's on the sideline in street clothes. Certainly we hope everything's okay there, but that looks like caused the Spartans to shuffle their offense a little bit. And Webb's going to throw. He's rolling out to his right looking, and he's going to throw it right into the hands of, it's going to fall incomplete. A couple Red Tornadoes in the area had a shot at it, but fortunately for the Spartans, it'll fall incomplete and bring up 4th down. Yeah,
Jim, it looked like it might have been Troutman there kind of trailing from that linebacker spot. Looked like he was able to get a hand on it, but sort of overran it and forced it to be an incompletion, but almost a quick turnover there for the Red Tornadoes.
Number 8, Dylan Piccino, will be back punting for the Spartans. The Red Tornadoes are going to have Pupo and Burkowski back deep. They'll be about their own 43-yard line. It's a good snap to Piccino. It's going to be a high, short punt. Pupo bounces off his face mask, and fortunately for the Red Tornadoes, it's going to go out of bounds inside Spartan territory. It'll be 1st and 10 Mount Carmel at the Spartan 48-yard line with 10:28 to go in the first quarter of a scoreless contest.
Yeah, Jim, like you said, almost a little bit of a momentum shifter there for the Spartans, but fortunately for Pupo, taking that one off the face mask, bounced out of bounds instead of into the waiting arms of the Spartan.
Red Tornadoes come out in their patented shotgun double wing. Reisinger's got Widener in the backfield, and it's going to be Widener right off the bat, and he's to the secondary. He's out across the 35. They'll mark him down at the 33-yard line, so Widener's first carry of the night will go for 15.
Yeah, and Jim, that's a very good start there for Widener. And we talked about him at the outset, hopefully hoping to continue his momentum after having a huge game last week.
This double wing is going to have Wills and Chapman as the tight ends. Burkowski and Daukus are in that kind of H-back slot to the right. And this is going to be a handoff to Burkowski on that inside trap. Burkowski tries to cut across the field, but a nice tackle there.
And number 24,
24. That's Brock Stroop, excuse me. But not before Burkowski picks up about 7.
Yeah, Jim, very nice tackle there from Stroop as Burkowski looked like he was starting to get in the open field there.
It's going to be a snap to Daukus that time, the up back, and he's going to power through, and he's fighting. He's trying to run through arm tackles. He's down inside the 15, right at the 10-yard line. They're going to mark him down. So it'll be another Red Tornado first down. Again, 3 plays all on the ground for a pickup of about 38 yards. So good luck moving the ball with that offensive line again.
Yeah, and Jim, that's a very nice run there by Daukus. Had guys on him immediately, but taking that snap from that 3-point stance, his shoulders are already kind of parallel to the ground, and it gives him a better chance to power through tackles.
Burkowski comes across, and Reisinger's going to throw it. He's got Wills wide open. It's going to be a matter of catching, and he does. And with 9:11 left in the first quarter, the Red Tornadoes will draw first blood, going on top 6-0 here, courtesy of a 10-yard toss from Reisinger to Wills.
Yeah, and Jim, we talk about it a lot that Coach Dara's offensive scheming has just been, it's been really, really good these past couple weeks and throughout the season. You know, kind of switching back to the shotgun wing that they had so much success with over the past few years, and just doing a really good job of mixing run and pass.
Get a good snap and a good hold, and Steller's kick is up, and that is good as well. And so the Red Tornadoes will stretch that to 7. 7-0 here early on. Now, Dan, I want to take an opportunity really quick just to talk about, again, we want to say thank you to Joe Gush and the Vine Street Sandwich Shop sponsoring tonight. And just a reminder to all of you out there, wherever you are and wherever you may be listening, you might have heard that before, that the sights and sounds of tonight's game are coming to you live thanks to the generosity of the Red Tornado community, both near and far, as the Mount Carmel Area School District and its partners continue to do big things. No donation is too small. Be sure to listen throughout the broadcast each week for ways to support our efforts, or call 570-339-1500 for more information.
Yeah, Jim, you know, we talk about it a lot. These Red Tornadoes and this Red Tornado fan base travels well, but with these long games on these colder nights, sometimes it's nice to be able to sit in the comfort of your home and watch this game live on your computer. So I'm sure everybody's enjoying it. We love doing it.
And Chapman's second kick is a high, deep one, and that's through to Stroup as well. He's going to come across the 30, so a nice return there by Stroup. Hard run out to the 32-yard line, and that's where the Spartans will start. And yeah, Dan, talk about what we like to do this for Red Tornado fans, but it's very cool tonight to be able to do this for the Hughesville Spartan fans as well.
Absolutely.
We've got a lot of great interaction. We had a cool kind of pre-production meeting almost with some of the folks from Hughesville, some of these kids. So it's a really cool opportunity on both sides.
Yes, it is. Hopefully the Hughesville Spartans can take advantage of an opportunity here with the ball.
Up under center, and they're going to hand it straight forward, and a little blast. Looks like 27 Yoakum again, and he'll be right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe half a yard, give him.
Yeah, Jim, looks like these Hughesville Spartans are going to have to try to find some sort of success on the outside, because that Red Tornado front 7 has just been dominating the past few weeks up front.
See here what the Spartans dial up. Now it's going to be a pitch to Piccino, and he does a nice job to make the first guy miss, but there's too many white jerseys there, and they'll stop him for a loss. It looks like we've got Witkowski in there, of course we do. 71 Nick Nestico in there as well. We talked about him a little bit on the outside and the offensive side.
Yep.
Certainly doing work defensively as well.
Yeah, and Jim, you see a lot more, looks like a lot more guys getting opportunities here on the Red Tornado defense. You see Joe Bendis in there at inside linebacker spot there. It looks like he's spelling Troutman, who might be out getting a breather.
3rd and 11 for the Spartans. Webb brings Piccino in motion. He's going to fake the toss, and it's a handoff the inside. It's a nicely designed play, but unfortunately, number 44, Jack Chapman, read it the whole way, and he's going to stop picking off. He picks up 2.
Yeah, it looked like Jack Chapman was coming off of that left side as a blitzer, but also had that outside contain and did a really nice job of just staying at home and not letting that counter trap kind of get past him there. Did a really nice job picking that up and making the stop.
Quick and on to punt. A little bit high snap. He does a nice job bringing it down. He gets a nice punt off. Burkowski's going to take that. He's going to drop it. And he does a nice job falling on it, but he's going to. The Red Tornadoes are going to start on their own 27 as that jumped back 6 or 7 yards.
Yeah, Jim, I talked about it after the first Chapman kick, and as it gets colder out, that ball sort of starts to feel like a rock. It's not as easy to receive it, to catch it. So especially when there's a funky spin on it off of the punt, Red Tornadoes are doing a good job getting on the ball, but are going to have to make sure they're securing it.
So we'll see if the Red Tornadoes go back to more of the same. They certainly do from a formation standpoint. Burkowski's going to come in motion, but it's going to be wider up the middle. And he does a nice job of dragging that pile forward out to the 35. So give him 7, 2nd and 3.
Yeah, Jim, we talked about, Widener averaging a large portion of yards per carry last week, but he's also got the ability to do this, to grind out 5, 6 yards and kind of take a beating in the middle and not really waver.
2nd and 4, I guess it'll be after the spot, but this time it's going to be Burkowski, and rather than cut up field, he's going to stay to the outside. Now he'll come back inside the lane. He'll pick up a first down. He'll be out to the 40. So the Red Tornadoes will move the chains again, courtesy of the ground game.
Yeah, Jim, the Red looked like when Burkowski took that handoff, working his way outside there, he had 3 or 4 Red Tornado blockers in front of him, but Hughesville Spartans defense did a really nice job kind of knifing from the backside and getting in there to make that tackle and not letting that turn into a huge play.
Yeah, nice pursuit there by the Spartans for sure, Dan. This time it's going to be play action. Reisinger's going to set his shoulders. He's going to throw. He's got Chapman wide open behind everybody. Chapman's going to make the reception out to his foot race, and a great tackle made by Straub to prevent Chapman from walking in. But nevertheless, that's going to be all the way down to the 6-yard line is where they'll mark it. 1st and goal for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, Jim, you're right. Stroop with a very nice tackle there to be able to kind of it was a touchdown saving tackle from Stroop on Chapman, and he did it perfectly. He kind of lined up Chapman's ankles and just wrapped him up and was able to get him down.
It's going to be about a 55-yard reception there for Chapman, so his good season continues, as will Reisinger's. We'll see the first timeout of the game here, Dan, for the Spartans.
Yeah, and an early timeout here for the Spartans, but
yeah, 7-0 Red Tornadoes with 5:56 left in the first quarter.
But I think it's a good one here. Your defense is kind of reeling a little bit. Mount Carmel's been moving the ball pretty well. Good decision by the coaching staff here to kind of take a timeout and try to regroup and put together a goal line stand here.
Yeah, speaking of good ones, we got some good ones setting up this program for us tonight, Dan. For the Red Tornadoes and on the Mount Carmel side, on the cameras we've got Sammy Zatney, Jaylee Gonzalez, Zoe Psycho, and Jake Evans. Graphics of Orville Fesniak. Production assistants are Jade Whitmer and Aaron Bosler. And the master controller, Tyler Barnhart and Corin Enos. And again, we talked about it before. We've got some Hughesville Spartans up here with us as well. We'll talk about them in just a second. For the time being, we are back under play here. Reisinger's going to roll to his right. He looks to throw, and he's got Daukus, and he's in. So Daukus is going to be on the receiving end of that one. Hit Reisinger's 2nd touchdown pass of the night. Daukus' 2nd of the season.
Yep.
It'll be a 5-yard variety this time, and the Red Tornadoes will be on top 13-0.
Yeah, Jim, that was a really nice job there by Reisinger and Daukus. Reisinger kind of going through his progression, wanted to go over the top. Daukus was kind of the check down guy. He got to him in his reads, made a very accurate throw, threw a laser to Daukus, and Daukus with the soft hands able to reel that in and get to the corner of the end zone. Nice job.
Stellar on again. Verano to hold. Stellar's kick is up, and it's no good, so he'll miss that one. It'll be 13-0, and it seems like it's been a while since we talked about Stellar missing an extra point. He was 7 of 7 last week, Dan.
Yeah, he definitely was on point last week. And again, Jim, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but we can continue to talk about it because it's going to continue to affect all the players throughout the rest of the season as it gets colder. The ball feels different when it's colder outside, so a little adjustment for the Red Tornadoes.
Starting to finally feel like football weather, though.
Yes, right? It is.
We talked about the Red Tornadoes and the Mount Carmel area TV studio helping us out tonight, but also the Hughesville side. We have Gabe Wolford. We had the opportunity to sit and talk with him, a terrific young man. Also Blake Boyer, Xavier Koken, Mark Whitmoyer, Paul Whitmoyer, Cheyenne George, Emma Friedoff, and Chase Michael. So a big thank you to all of those folks helping us out tonight. This is something that, at least talking with Mr. McPhee, we've never done before as a school district, and that's having a joint broadcast like this. So Chapman's kick hit the turf and kind of died there at the 20. It bounced back towards the 25, and the Spartans will do the smart thing and just cover it up at the 22, and they'll start from there, trailing 13-0 with 5:50 left in the first quarter. Yeah, that was a really good job there by Joseph Swink, number 10, just realizing that ball's rolling back towards, the Red Tornadoes, and it's a live ball, and just deciding to get on it and, let the offense go out there and try and make something happen. 1st and 10 for the Spartans. That's Yoakum behind Webb. And it'll be Yoakum off the left side, but there's too many white jerseys. Again, I see number 4, that's Wills, 21, Wikoski are in there. And that's just from the linebacker spot. That's not even mentioning the big guy that's about to get up off. Oh, Pupo's in there as well. Yeah, Pupo from a corner spot getting in there. But it did look like Nick Nestico was in there as well, Jim, with and Mikowski. That whole defensive line has been wreaking havoc to start the game here. I think that at this point, when they're huddling up and they're calling their defensive plays, it's just, hey, let's meet each other at the ball. Yeah, that's what it seems like. This time it's going to be Pickeno, and he runs into Chapman, who does a nice job coming across and stopping him in the backfield. That'll be a big loss inside the 20. It's going to bring up 3rd and 13. Yeah, Jim, we talked about Chapman having a big game defensively last week. He had a sack, the pick 6. Looks like he's kind of just, as Widener had a huge offensive production last week, looks like Chapman's just building off his defensive production. I think Coach Darris kind of give him a little bit more freedom to kind of go out there and pick a spot and get after it. Webb's going to roll out to his right. He's under pressure immediately from Daukus. They had a screen set up, but the ball got to Yoakum before he was ready for it. It'll fall incomplete, bring up 4th down. Yeah, Daukus just got in there too quick. A screen play is normally, it takes time. You want that pressure to get in there, but Daukus just, as soon as read the snap perfectly and was immediately in the backfield, and like you said, didn't give Webb any opportunity to even find Yoakum. And again, Webb is just a freshman, so for him to stay in there like that with the poise, that's a good sign of things to come for the Spartans. And that one's going to go off the side of Pickeno's foot. He was under a lot of pressure there. So we'll see where the officials mark this out of bounds. It's going to come all the way into Spartan territory, inside the 35, right to the 34. So in addition to having a lot of early success offensively, the Red Tornadoes have also benefited from some short fields. Yes, they've been doing a really good job and getting themselves set up in pretty decent field position, even with the 2 sort of muffed punt returns. Still haven't started any further than their own 30. Same look out of the Red Tornadoes. Widener to Reisinger's right. It's a handoff to Widener off the left side. He's going to fight through a couple tackles. He's going to stay on his feet. Nice job there by number 24, Stroup, yet again, to come up and finish that pile off. So he certainly seems to have a nose for the ball as well. Yeah. Reisinger's going to pick up 7. Widener, excuse me. Yeah, Jim, these I love watching these Mount Carmel backs run because they all seem to do a really good job of kind of finding the person that's pulling in front of them and just getting on their back and putting their hand on them and letting them lead the way. Looks like it's going to be Bendis that time, and now Bendis is out, and he's outside. He's got a foot race. Number 7, that was Swank, had a chance at him, but Bendis does a nice job, and he's in for another Red Tornado touchdown. Yeah, and Jim, it was kind of funny seeing that number 34 throwing a tough stiff arm out there to break free, because the last 34 that used to do that
I got to play with, Cody Shoestack. When he used to get out in the open field, he loved using that stiff arm, and Joe Bendis did a great job of using it there to kind of get the defender off of him and get into the end zone.
It's about a 27-yard touchdown run for Bendis there. Instead, he'll come back, and he's back on target. He'll drill that one through, and the Red Tornadoes are going to stretch this to 20 with 3:41 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, so Hughesville's defense not really benefiting with the short field that
it's
sort
tough.
of their offense has been putting them in. So Hughesville's offense needs to get out here and move the chains a few times, at least try to flip the field somewhat, and give their defense a little bit more of an opportunity to kind of get some stops.
The festivities here tonight, Dan, have been a blast, though. It's been fun to kind of be around and be a part of it, a homecoming game for the Spartans. They had a really cool ceremony before. The band did a great job. The band's actually right underneath us, so I'm sure you can hear them on the broadcast. They sound terrific, so we're really enjoying our time here at Harold L. Schaefer Stadium in Hughesville, where, again, the Red Tornadoes are on top 20-0 early on here in the first quarter. Chapman gets a nice high kick. That'll be Piccino at about the 12. And he comes out to the 30. Excuse me, that was not Piccino. I'm sorry. That was 48, not 8. So that'll be Brendan Knight. Nice return there by the sophomore.
Yeah, did a nice job of kind of getting that ball with a head of steam, and was able to kind of move it forward. But it looks like the Spartans continue to start right around that 30-yard line, and need to get it past midfield here on this drive.
So, Dan, we talked about as the Spartans get set up here, it's going to be a handoff to Yoakum off the right side and nowhere to go. We talked about some different Red Tornadoes in there. You see Brock Everett on that far corner slot.
Yep.
And I also noticed kind of do everything, number 24, Julian Steller, in there as in a linebacker slot.
Yeah. Yeah, Jim, there's a lot of different guys getting opportunities here tonight. And it's a good game to kind of develop these guys. It's starting to get cold out. Guys are going to need a little bit more rest because of the shock from the temperature change from yesterday where it was 85 degrees.
And Webb is going to fake to his left. Now Rolo was right. He's dropping back. He's going to throw it out in the direction of Knight. Excuse me, that's number 10. Joe Swink. And it'll fall incomplete, bring up third down.
And Jim, Webb, again, sort of, unfortunately, running for his life there. Red Tornado pursuit was great into the backfield, and he had to throw that off his back foot. But I got to give credit to Swink because it looked like that ball was about to fall into the waiting arms of number 26, Nick Troutman, again. And Swink did a good job kind of coming back to the ball and making an attempt on it and almost playing defense to knock that one down.
Well, what doesn't help if you're the Spartans is the Red Tornadoes have cycled enough of their defensive players and that they've got two fresh defensive linemen there in the front as the handoff goes to Piccino. And he'll be, no, excuse me, that's Dilena. And he'll be dropped down at the 25 for a loss of a yard, bring up 4th and 15. But the Red Tornadoes had cycled out their interior defensive linemen, and that series was freshman Matt Kelly and senior Brad Sherrock.
Yeah, so a lot of different guys. That's the, we don't get to talk about it a whole lot, Jim, because the Red Tornadoes do have sort of a smaller total roster, but so many guys who are capable of making plays. So it's easy to cycle guys in and out, and Coach Dare is comfortable putting different guys in there.
Piccino will get that punt out. It'll be a low liner. Pupo will field this one cleanly. Now he's up in the up around the 45. We'll get a nice little push a little further. By the time they call this one dead, he'll be at the 42-yard line. So the Red Tornadoes will start their 4th drive of the night at the Spartan 42, hoping to go 4 for 4 in terms of scoring drives. Yeah, and Jim, these are big-time drives here. As you said, still in the first quarter here, and the Red Tornadoes already 3 touchdowns on the board. So Hughesville defense, although being kind of put in a tough spot and backed up,
their offense is kind of looking to them to get a stop here.
Yes. And that's going to be a shot block against the Spartans. So in our excitement, we missed the flag on the play.
Yeah.
So that'll be another 15 yards.
And again,
down to the 32.
And again, pushing the Spartans back, Spartans defense back, and putting their back further against their own goal line.
To 27, excuse me. I was trying to do the math there, wondering how we got to the 32. And Burkowski now, he's inside, and he's weaving, and he makes a guy miss. And he'll be dragged down. He's going to fumble the... Nope, they'll call him down. Okay. So he was thrown down hard by number 19. Chance Webb does a terrific job of keeping Burkowski out of the end zone. And the impact popped the ball out, but he was ruled down. So it'll be 1st and goal for the Red Tornadoes from the 2.
Yeah, Jim, I think, you know, I know throughout the season so far this year, I haven't agreed with the officials a whole lot. But in that situation, it looked like Burkowski tried to stretch the ball out. His elbow hit the ground before the ball popped out, so I think that was the right call.
Glad you're on board, Dan.
I guess it didn't matter if I wasn't.
And they're going to give it to Burkowski again, and so he's going to head in for another Red Tornado touchdown. That'll stretch it to 26-0 with 1:19 here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Jim, again, and that play continues to prove fruitful for the Red Tornadoes with Burkowski. They're, you know, just kind of coming back across, get 2 or 3 guys out in front of him, and let him find that cutback lane. And he's been doing it for, you know, almost 2 years now consistently with him switching in and out with Widener last year and now kind of being the main guy there. And he's got such a good nose and eye for finding the hole.
Stella will drill that one, so it's going to be 27-0 here. But yeah, Dan, what's interesting is, and give Coach Dara and the offensive minds here at Mount Carmel credit, that position, that H-back, that whatever you want to call it, the wing in the shotgun double wing, when they hand them that kind of inside sally that they run,
yeah,
that play has been successful pretty much since Coach Dara got here and implemented it.
Yeah, and I think you're right. It's the offensive mind. A lot of the times it's a scheme, but it's also finding the right guys to fill that spot. And when Coach Dara first got there, I'm trying to think back that far. Coach Dara's been here. I know Lane Tanny was big in that spot, that sort of small slasher. Widener last year, now he bulked up a little bit coming into this season, but last year was sort of a smaller slasher as well with Burkowski. He's got Pupo shuffling in and out of there too. It's always those smaller, quick guys that do a really nice job and just have really good vision to find that hole.
Chapman's going to get another booming kick down to the 12. It's going to be taken on the run by number 48, Knight again. He'll be dropped at the 27-yard line. That's where the Spartans will take over.
Yeah, and Reed Witkowski down there again to make the initial contact and tackle there. You know, so it seems like Reed Witkowski throughout this season has kind of, last year was a special teams all-star, and this year continues to be a special teams all-star, but also defensively as well.
Sure. And again, don't forget, if you're watching this feed, you can get to redtornadofootball.com every Friday during the football season. Webb, he's going to hand off to Dilena, and he's going to be met first by Witkowski and thrown back. Oh, they're going to give him forward. Oh, the fumble on the play, and the Red Tornadoes are going to recover that, so they'll take over 1st and 10 at the Spartan 24-yard line.
Wow, Jim, I didn't even see that ball come out there. But again, another positive for the Red Tornadoes, and a tough one there for the Hughesville Spartan offense.
But yeah, Dan, as we were saying before, make sure you get out to redtornadofootball.com. You scroll by our mugs, and you get yourself into tonight's game. Now, the Red Tornadoes are going to open it up a little bit here. And they're short a lineman. So number 66, Matt Chicatano, another freshman, is going to go in there. And Coach Dara is going to have to burn a timeout in the first of the half, as again, they're trying to get some different personnel out there.
I don't think they're going to use the timeout, Jim. I don't think they got it off in time. Looks like we got to delay a game, and they're just going to go with the guys on the field.
See, that's what I get for looking at you. But yeah, the Red Tornadoes are pretty open here. They've got two to the right in Wills and Burkowski, a single receiver, Chapman to the left, and Reising is going to throw it. He hits Chapman on that hitch, and Chapman's going to come back towards the middle of the field. He's going to run through a couple tacklers. He's inside the 15 to the 13 for a first down. And Dan, we've been in this position with this offense before, where it feels and looks maybe worse than it is.
Yeah, Jim, you're right. We've talked about it throughout the past 2 seasons that this offense has had so much success running the ball that really them kind of taking their foot off the pedal somewhat is spreading things out and throwing it.
But they're going to go right back in the gas here as Widener takes it, and he's throwing his own players out of the way on his way to a 13-yard touchdown and a 33-0 Red Tornado lead.
Yeah, that's another nice run there by Widener. Did a good job. You're right, throwing his own guys out of the way, but that was his lead blocker. He kind of just got his hand on his back, threw him into a Spartan defender, and made a cut off of that and was able to kind of dance his way into the end zone there up the middle.
So we'll see Stellar here. See Stellar for the 5th time tonight. It's a good snap and a good hold, and the kick is low. It'll be no good. So, with 29 seconds left in the first quarter and a big bonfire raging across the field. You see that, Dan?
Yeah.
The Red Tornadoes jump out to a 33-0 lead here in Hughesville.
Jim, I'm guessing that's some sort of homecoming festivities going on over there. They got a bonfire. And what a location for it, too. You know, these students here at Hughesville have the opportunity to go right from the field and just kind of walk out the gate and to the bonfire.
Again, as the temperature continues to drop tonight, Dan, I certainly wouldn't mind sitting around a bonfire myself, so I'm a little bit jealous.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice thing to be able to do.
Another nice thing you can always do is you can head down to Vine Street Sandwich Shop and get yourself a nice warm sub. Again, tonight's broadcast is sponsored by Joe Gushin at Vine Street Sandwich Shop, so we certainly appreciate that. Chapman will be on to kick off. Again, he'll be kicking off to Knight and Swink. And that'll be Knight takes it at the 12, picks his direction. Does a nice job of avoiding the first row of defenders, getting out to the 27. We'll go from there.
Yeah, Jim, it's really good coverage there by this Red Tornado kickoff team, but I just want to, we talk about Reed Wachowski a lot, but it's fun watching him run down on this kickoff. This time he sort of over-pursued, ran past the play, turned around and saw that Knight was still on his feet, and just came back and jumped on top and got himself in there on the tackle.
Now the Spartans are going to go into the gun to give presumably Webb a little more opportunity to make a decision. They'll hand it to Yoakum that time, and the result will be about the same. No gain on the play. Yeah,
this Spartan offense has been very, very stagnant. They have not been able to really move the ball at all against this Red Tornadoes defense, and it's a tall task to move the ball against this Red Tornado defense, but they need to find a way to figure it out here.
Yep, and that's going to do it for the first quarter here. And so again, at the end of one, the Red Tornadoes are going to be up 33-0 on the Hughesville Spartans.
Yeah, Jim, these Red Tornadoes have been doing a really nice job offensively, moving the ball sort of with ease. They've been doing a really nice job kind of scheming well against this Spartans, 4-4/6-2 type defense. And the Red Tornadoes defense, Jim, I don't want to jump the gun here, but I don't think they gave up a yard that quarter. So now as things are going to be a little bit more difficult for us because we're going to the other side of the field here.
Well, they're going to be difficult for you. I'm just going to be in your way for the most part.
You're just going to have to tell me what happens, Jim.
Isn't that how this works anyway?
Yeah, fair enough. You tell me what happens, and I tell you why it happened, right?
That's how this works. And we'll get started. Second quarter underway here. Again, we just want to mention thank you to the Hughesville School District and being a part of this, and all the Hughesville friends and fans out there. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast. It's a really cool thing we can do. Now Pickeno is going to take the pitch, and he's going to throw it about as far as he can, intended for number 10, Joey Swink, and it'll fall incomplete. Nice coverage on the play by Pupo. He didn't get caught up in the kind of the trickery.
Really nice job there by Pupo, staying with his man off the ball, and like you said, not really getting caught up in the trickery, but Hughesville coaching staff kind of pulling out all the stops, and at this point, that's sort of what they have to do. They need to find some sort of way to move the ball.
It'll be 3rd and 12 for the Spartans. Going to send Pickeno in motion, and they're going to hand it up the middle, and there's nowhere to go. It's going to bring up another 4th down for the Spartans.
Yeah, and a lot of red tornadoes in there, and the one that is really hard to miss is big number 75, Matt Kelly, coming off the bottom of that pile there. It's hard to run up the middle when you have a 6'3", 300+ pound freshman in there.
So we mentioned before about the terrific Hughesville Spartan band. Hopefully you can hear them right now. Again, they're right below us, doing a terrific job tonight. So we enjoy it. We don't usually get to hear it this clearly. We're going to get an injury timeout on the field. There's a Spartan down along their own sideline. Looks to be 48 Knight, so hopefully he's doing all right. We'll get back at it here in just a moment.
Yeah, hopefully he is doing all right. He's been a big player for the Spartans tonight, offensively, defensively, and special teams. So hopefully they can get him back out there.
So we talked about, again, tonight's broadcast is live. RedTornadoFootball.com. Thank you, Joe Gushin and Vine Street Sandwich Shop.
Thank you.
We also want to thank Service Electric. Again, you can catch us live now when you want to watch the rerun, if you will. That'll be Wednesday nights on Service Electric Cablevision Channel 13 at 8 p.m. Also, MCA Live, we're doing a lot of conversation tonight about student-run television. At Mount Carmel area, WKMCTV has MCA Live that runs every morning, Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. So make sure you catch that.
Yeah, Jim, this whole student-run program has been amazing. I mean, I had the opportunity, and you did as well, when we were still in school, to be a part of. Jim, you ran the Red Zone. I was able to do the morning news as well, news reporting, TV studio. All those students put forth a huge effort to kind of keep this thing running and keep it running well, and they never seem they never cease to amaze me, I should say.
Knight will be up and off the field for the Spartans, so that's good. He'll walk off under his own power. Pickeno on to punt. Does a nice job of getting that one out of there quick. Pupo is going to take it at the 47. It'll run through one tackle. There's a lot of green jerseys there, so good gang tackling by the Spartans. We'll drop Pupo before he gets started. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Tornadoes at the Spartan 48.
Yeah, Jim, that one looked like to be sort of at an in-between spot for Pupo and Burkowski, and both of them took a little bit to figure out who was going to take it, and then Burkowski kind of had to wait for Pupo to slip a tackle before he could even get out in front of him and try to block.
So we'll see. It looked like there was a late flag that came in that was ultimately picked up on the play. So there'll be no change. There'll be no ball movement. It'll still be 1st and 10 at the 47 and a half. Dan, how's that for you?
Yeah.
So here we go. This is what we were talking about earlier. The Red Tornadoes are going to open it up 4 wide, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Reisinger is going to go straight back, and he's going to take a look at Widener and had him open, but it was a little bit behind him. It'll fall incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and Jim, I didn't get to see the end of that play there, but it looked like Reisinger I don't think he got hit. So he looked like when he went to use plant and to throw that ball, he kind of lost his footing because you saw he ended up on his backside there. So possibly just a, throw a little behind Widener, possibly lost his footing there.
For those of you at home, again, remember you can always hit that little back 15 seconds button and find out what Dan's talking about.
Yeah.
Reisinger now, he's going to throw it again. They'll throw it to Chapman on a now pattern to the right side, but he's got blockers in front of him. Now he's up through the seam. He's got a Pickano. He's the only one that can stop him, and he does. He'll drop him right at the 10-yard line. It looks like they'll mark it. So a big gain of 38 there, but it could have been 6 if not for Pickano.
Yeah, Pickano did a really good job of making that tackle, that, like you said, touchdown-saving tackle there. But Chapman having a big game so far. Early here in the second quarter still, and he's got to be close, at least getting close to, having 70, 80 yards already receiving.
10:06 and counting here in the second quarter. The Red Tornadoes on top 33-0 here at Harold L. Schaefer Stadium in Hughesville. And that one's going to be a handoff to Pupo, and Pupo's going to put the ball in the turf, and the Spartans are going to recover it. So the teams will trade fumbles here on this drive.
Yeah, Jim, this is what I talked about earlier on. Now the Spartans really need to take advantage of this turnover. The Red Tornadoes make a little mistake, put the ball on the turf. Spartans recover it. Now, maybe a little momentum swing here. Get that Spartan offense going.
And they're certainly not going to trade fumbles on this drive. I saw the way you looked at me, and rightfully so.
Oh,
but they will match each other in the turnover category with 1 apiece at this point. The Spartans are going to take the snap, and they'll hand it off to Yoakum. He'll get across the 10 to the 11, give him a yard, 2nd and 9.
Yeah, Jim, you see the Red Tornadoes continually, just shuffling guys in and out, in and out. It seems like every play there's somebody different coming out onto the field, which is such an amazing luxury that Coach Dara has with this team this year that, a lot of teams don't have. Just so many capable players to spell guys and give guys breaks. So it's nice to have.
Webb is going to hand that one to, we'll try to get a look at a jersey here. It didn't look to be Yoakum. Trying to get a look.
Delina, I think, Jim.
Yep, that's going to be Delina. Thanks, Dan. Good eyes. So he'll pick up another yard. We'll make it 3rd and 8.
Yeah, Jim, we're did a nice job. Kind of that play looked like it was going to be stopped in the backfield. Did a good job of getting anything out of that, from what I could see of it.
3rd and 8. We'll see what the Spartans dial up here. And it's a little crossfire type play for Pickano, and he had space for a second, but the Red Tornadoes do a great job of recovering. I see Belichick in there, Steller's in there. Troutman's always around the ball as well, so nice job there, but a couple yards for the Spartans will bring up 4th and 5.
Yeah, Jim, it did. It looked like Belichick kind of was the saving grace there. Did a good job at his corner spot coming back and not being fooled on that counter and coming up to kind of force the running back to turn it inside into some tacklers.
Pickano on to punt. It's a good snap, and he'll get a nice low liner. Pupo's going to take it on a bounce off the right side. He'll get to the sideline, and there's not, he makes a nice cut to stay in and out inside the 30. We'll see where they mark the ball down. It was a great job by Pupo. Looks like it'll be about the 28, Dan.
Yeah, very nice job there by Pupo. Kind of wanted to, it looked like he took that one with some fire there. Wanted to make up for, the unfortunate turnover on the last drive, and did a really nice job making a lot of guys miss on the way to that nice return.
33-0 Red Tornadoes here. 7:43 to go in the first half. Reisinger is going to hand it to
Looks like
Troutman.
Yeah.
And Troutman's going to get upended. Nice play there made by number 58 was in there, but 58 is going to be Hayden Robbins, but certainly Yoakum as well.
Yeah, Jim, you're starting to see, we saw a lot of the changes defensively. We're starting to see a lot of them offensively as well with Troutman in there.
And Bendis is back at it again inside the 20. They're going to say a first down, so they'll move the sticks. So a nice rush there by number 34, Joey Bendis.
Yeah, Bendis, making the most out of every opportunity he gets at Jim. It seems every time he touches the ball, he's getting 5, 6, 7 yards a carry. He's been doing a really nice job throughout the season.
Reisinger brings Troutman in motion again. Troutman tried to get to the corner. He's not going to do it. A great play made by number 13, Justin Fowler, who's a freshman. So again, a lot of youth for the Spartans, and they do a nice job of playing hard through a lot of this adversity.
Yeah, definitely no quit in this Spartans team. And you're right, very nice tackle there. Troutman trying to get outside and just was not able to.
So 2nd and 12, it'll be Bendis off the right side. He's just powering through with that offensive line. Very close to the first down. It'll mark him about a yard short. So a 2nd and 13 will turn into a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, and Jim, it seems as though every time I see, any of the Red Tornado running backs get the ball and go into the middle, I feel like I see a big pile right at the line of scrimmage, and then the running back kind of coming out on the other side of it.
So now it looks like that's Troutman in the backfield with Reisinger, and they're going to hand it to him, and so he'll get up over the first down marker, wait for a signal, and he's in.
Yep.
For a Red Tornado touchdown from 8 yards out. It'll be Nick Troutman. So everybody can play tonight, Dan.
Yeah, and a really good job there by Troutman. I haven't been able to do it a whole lot this year because the Red Tornado backs have really been having a hard time kind of getting tripped up or going down. They've been doing a really nice job. But that's all thanks to Coach Veach and that running backs coaching staff. All the balance drills that they do, as you saw Troutman kind of get tripped up early, put his hand on the ground, and keep his feet to reach into the end zone. Really nice job there, and credit to Coach Veach for working with those guys.
And Steller's kick is up, and it's good. And so with 5:44 left in the first half, the Red Tornadoes stretch their lead out to 40-0 over the Spartans.
Yeah, and Jim, now we want to see here what the Spartans decide to do. We talked about it. There's no quit in this team, so you're going to keep seeing these guys keep coming out there, trying to put points on the board. And hopefully we get an opportunity to see them maybe start to find a rhythm in their offense. They moved the ball slightly on their last drive, which unfortunately slightly has been the closest they've come to moving it throughout this first half so far. So hopefully they can kind of continue to pick up on that. They might have found a few bright spots, a few things that they can exploit.
Yeah, I think there's always a couple things. You kind of always find something that you can do well. It's just a matter of, can you do it well enough, quickly enough, before your opponent can kind of recover. Right,
and that's something that Spartans are going to have to try and figure out here throughout the rest of the game. Got to find a way to put some points up.
Chapman on again for the Red Tornadoes. We'll drive that one. That'll be, is that Knight? That's not Knight this time. Swink. So he does a nice job of picking his route out to the 30. So that's where they'll start.
Yeah, we continue to see these Spartans starting right around that 30-yard line. And, like I said earlier, Jim, they haven't really had an opportunity to get off that spot. So really hoping to be able to start moving the ball here. And even a few first downs just to kind of gain a little bit of confidence and momentum in the offense would be huge here for the Spartans.
Again, 1st and 10 from the 30. 5:38 left. Webb hands it off on that one. Almost reminds you of those crossfire plays, Dan. And that's Dilena for loss of a yard.
Yeah, Jim. Like you said, that nice little crossfire play there. Unfortunately, didn't. Red Tornadoes just have been doing a really nice job at the point of attack. They're not. Those crossfire plays are normally trap plays. They're not getting trapped. They're not getting blown out of holes. They're everywhere.
Webb's going to throw it. He's rolling out to his right. He's going to throw it in the direction of number 10, Swink, but it'll be incomplete, out of bounds.
Yeah, and again, Webb under just a ton of pressure from that Red Tornado defensive front. They've been doing a really nice job of kind of moving, getting past their initial blockers and then putting a lot of pressure on Webb.
Dan, you said before about the Red Tornadoes not doing a nice job of not getting trapped. Somebody I recall is untrappable.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's what Chili says.
Chili, that's who it
is. Yeah, he says he cannot be trapped. So,
well, it seems to be right tonight.
I don't see him out there on the defensive line currently, but it looks like nobody on this defensive line can be trapped.
And again, you just look, nice tackle there by Brock Everett. But you just look, Dan, and you could see right there that all the white jerseys just flowing, that surge they get into the Spartan backfield.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, I'm interested to see if the Spartans can find some sort of way to kind of take advantage of that aggressiveness to the Red Tornadoes defense. That it's not a huge staple from the wing T offense that the Spartans run, but possibly a screen or draw play that they at least give Webb just enough time to get something off might be a big thing for their offense.
Pickeno's punt is going to be short and out of bounds, so the Red Tornadoes are going to start their drive at the Spartan 41-yard line. So it'll be another short one here for Reisinger and company.
Yeah, and these Spartans have been really having a tough time moving the ball.
And I say Reisinger and company, but it looks like I'm mistaken. The first time tonight I call Reisinger out by name coming on the field. It's Stellar.
But Reisinger as well, Jim.
Okay.
So we're going to see what's going on here. I'm interested to see maybe the little Wildcat situation, but no, Stellar in there as a back.
It looks like Witkowski in there in the slot position, or the wing spot, often held by Daukus. And Stellar does a nice job of picking his way through the middle of that defense. He'll get across the 35 to the, give him the 33-yard line. Be 2nd and 7.
Yeah, nice little run there by Stellar. Like you said, Witkowski getting out front in there, blocking for him, and I think we've talked about it before. Witkowski and Stellar are pretty close cousins, and Stellar behind Witkowski may be something that we see moving forward.
And this time the handoff is to Pupo. He does a nice job getting upfield, picking up the first down and more, down to the 22. So with 3.5 left in the first half, this Red Tornado offense still churning.
Yeah, there's definitely still not having a whole lot of issue moving the ball.
No, not thus far.
And we got another new addition in there with Stellar moving to quarterback, and Damon Backus, I believe, is 27 in there.
And it's going to be Backus. So he'll bounce around the outside and pick up a gain of a yard, 2nd and 9.
And Jim, Backus only a sophomore, and it only has him listed here at 5'10", 180, and I can see the height being correct, but he is a big boy in there, and he likes to bang bodies. He's going in there and he's looking for contact. He's one of those running backs that's more like an old school fullback, and did a nice job there picking up a few.
Yeah, and he'll swap out with number 11, Cam Mannion. So now he'll be in Stellar's sidecar, and they're going to fake the pitch to him instead. He'll keep it himself. Stellar pushes Belichick out of the way, and he'll be dragged down. A nice tackle there made by number 19, excuse me. That's Chance Webb.
And another touchdown saving tackle there somewhat, because I think if Stellar was able to shake that one, he was going to pretty much walk his way the rest of the way into the end zone there.
So again, for the Red Tornadoes, a couple new faces out there. Blichik's out there. Oh, now there he goes off to the sideline. So again, I'll keep calling guys out as they go out, it appears. This time it's going to be a snap to the up back. And he's going to fight all the way into the end zone. So that'll be a touchdown for the Red Tornadoes. And I'd love to tell you who it is, but that happened so quickly.
Is that Witkowski still in there?
There he is. We'll see, Dan.
Witkowski is in the game, so I'm assuming that was to him. Because I know he normally plays that spot there where Daukus.
We finally got somebody to congratulate him, so we'll give that one to Witkowski.
A lot of white jerseys down there, you know, rumbling into the end zone, so it's hard to tell sometimes.
A little bit of high snap. Verano does a nice job pulling it down, and Stellar drills it. So the minute 53 left. The Red Tornadoes on top 47-0 here. Again, that's 1:53 left in the first half.
Yeah, and Jim, the Red Tornado offense virtually can't be stopped at this point, Jim. They no matter what the rotation is, who's in the backfield, who's in at quarterback, whether it's Reising or Stellar at quarterback, Reising or Stellar, Witkowski, Daukus, whomever. The Red Tornadoes offense just moving the ball at will at this point.
So we'll see. There was a little conversation there. It looked like the officials were having down around the goal line. I'm not sure what about, but they've adjourned and will make the trip out to the 40-yard line where they'll hand the ball to Mr. Chapman and let him do his thing.
Yeah, and as we see changes, seems like everywhere. There's a lot of different guys out there on the field, pretty much all over the place tonight.
Chapman will kick a low liner. It'll be right in front of Swink. It'll bounce. Does a nice job picking up, trying to get to the sideline. And it'll be driven out of bounds by number 16, and that's Feliciano. Pedro Feliciano. I'm sure we'll see him before the end of the night as well. Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, Jim, you know, Pedro's been doing a really nice job on that JV team, along with a lot of other guys who I'm hoping we get the opportunity to see, and it looks like we are going to see some of them. As Jim said, he's going to try and get them all as they check in.
Oh, you just put that right on me, huh, Dan? Okay.
Well, you took ownership for that earlier.
Looks right now I see number 5, Austin Garankowski out there. He's the one I can call out. He's the only one I feel good about. Nice job by the Red Tornado defense there. I see number 50. It's going to be Aaron Elliott. He's out there.
And it looked like number 58, Jim, Kellen Geary, stuffing that one up there.
Yeah, nice play by young Mr. Geary. Now Feliciano and Mannion, they're both out there now. They'll spell Blichik and Pupo. Verano's going to go out there for Troutman. So we got some wholesale changes going on here defensively for the Red Tornadoes.
Jim, it also looks like Backus down on that defensive line.
Backus down there. Trying to catch all these linebackers, Dan. Oh, of course he is. And number 121, Reed Witkowski's still out there.
Yeah, Reed Witkowski's still out there. I think that, honestly, sometimes, Jim, I think Coach Dara has to fight with Reed to get him off the field. And look at that.
David's going to come in and finally get Reed out of there. There's a part of me that thinks Coach Dara didn't know he was still out there.
Yeah, he either didn't know he was still out there or Reed said, Coach, 1 or 2 more plays, just a couple more plays, because, I mean, Reed's a tough kid and he's got a really good personality, but I wouldn't want to tell him, hey, you're out, you know?
Well, I'm standing here, I'm looking at these linebackers and saying, okay, I got Stellar and I got Verano. Who's that in the middle? The kid looks a lot like Reed.
Yeah.
The Spartans will come out. There's going to be a handoff to Piccino, and that took a little too long to develop. The Red Tornadoes were very ready for that. It'll be a big loss. Bring up 3rd and 15 now for the Spartans.
Yeah, Jim, it does look like the Spartans, even though they've made some sort of changes here.
Yeah, and that's going to be the last play of the half. Again, they're content to go to the halftime, so After one half of play here at Harold L. Schaefer Stadium, the visiting Red Tornadoes are on top of the Spartans, 47-0. So we'll take a break. Hello and welcome back to Harold L. Schaefer Stadium in Hughesville, Pennsylvania, where the visiting Red Tornadoes are on top of the Spartans 47-0 on account of 7 touchdowns by 7 different Tornadoes, Dan. Do you have anything else for us? From a stat perspective, anything you can share with the good people?
Well, not me sharing it, but Mr. Jose Gonzalo sharing with us the stats from the sideline here. But I definitely do have some to give out there. Currently, the Red Tornadoes, as you said, on top, 47-0, and kind of just dominating offensively and defensively. Offensively, Mount Carmel area rushing, 22 carries for 196 yards, 5 of 6 passing for 123 yards and 14 first downs. Comparing that to Hughesville Spartans. Hughesville's rushing, 18 carries for negative 11 yards and 0 of 5 passing, and still without a first down. So Spartans looking to come out second half a little spirited, a little excited, hopefully trying to put some points on the board here and just kind of get the ball moving offensively, build a little bit of confidence. And the Red Tornadoes are kind of looking to maybe add some more names to that list.
Yeah, and you talked about the Spartans being spirited, and you saw them come out there, and they did have a lot of pep in their step, for probably lack of a better term there. So that's always a good thing to see the heart and the effort even at this juncture. And for the first time tonight, I saw, again, we talked about Ethan Snyder and what he means in this team early on. I saw him in a sling, so we didn't catch that in the first half.
Okay.
So that kind of explains the street clothes. But yeah, again, I mean, Dan, we're out here, and what's interesting is if I told you it was 47-0 and the Red Tornadoes had about 300 yards of offense in the first half, you'd say, maybe it should be more, you would think, right? But a lot of that's courtesy of these short fields that they've been put in as well, and that's thanks to their defense.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that, Jim, because this Red Tornado defense has absolutely you saw it from the Hughesville stats, minus 11 total yards of offense. That is just a testament to how well this defense is played with a lot of different guys making their mark kind of on this game, too. So many different players just being inserted into different positions and stepping up and doing what they can do.
Yeah, Dan, and what's interesting about this, and I think Coach Dara had said as much, is that when you face a team that runs like a traditional wing tee like the Spartans do, that can be complicated at times to defend because there's a lot of movement.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's expected and unexpected at the same time. So for the Red Tornadoes to have been so dominant, I think that starts and ends right up front on both sides of the ball, really.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it a few times in the first half that the defensive line has just been stopping everything up, and you go to the offensive side of the ball, you don't score 7 touchdowns and go, 4 of 5 passing for Reisinger and have so many yards without that offensive line doing their job. And again, multiple guys getting opportunities in there. You didn't see just the normal front 5 of Shurock, Mikowski, Herb, Kelly, and Nestico.
There you go.
But
got them all.
Yeah. Sorry, it took me a second there, Jim. But you also saw a lot of different guys get shuffled in there. Saw Chicatano in there. Saw multiple different guys get opportunities on that offensive line and continue to just dominate up front.
And so as we start the second half, the Red Tornadoes are going to start right from the jump with their, almost looks like a lot of the JV folks out there. Dan, we've got Feliciano and Mannion are back deep. Verano and, let's see here. Nope, excuse me. It's Feliciano and Mannion on the far side. Back deep with Feliciano is, give you a number as soon as I can.
Is that, I'm trying to see here, Jim. Is that Fenella, number 12?
Yeah, that'll do it, Dan. Good work. Good eyes there, the youth.
Yeah.
Youth of America. Here we go. A nice kick deep by number 20 for the Spartans. It'll be returned out to the 26.
I think the ball came out, Jim.
It did, and the Spartans are going to start the second half with a turnover, so nice work there to get themselves started. Again, the kick was by number 20. And I'd like to give him credit, but we don't have a 20 on the roster we're looking at, so.
And Jim, that's the best starting field position. This is absolutely going to be the best starting field position for the Spartans. So we'll see if they can take advantage of this and put some points on the board here to get that offense rolling.
1st and 10 from the 26 for the Spartans. Again, it'll be a handoff to Yoakum up the middle. And Yoakum's going to put his head down. He's going to run through some of those Red Tornado defenders out to the 20. So nice pickup of 7. Bring up 2nd and 6, we'll call it 2nd and 4.
Yeah, that's a real nice run there by Yoakum. Just kind of tough, putting his head down and moving. So we'll see, like you said, the Spartans with a little sign of life here.
Eileen and Yoakum in the backfield. Now, Piccano is going to go across the formation. Then hand it to Yoakum again, and he'll fight towards the first down, and he'll get one. So that'll be the initial first down of the night for the Spartans.
Yeah, there it is, Jim. First drive of the second half and first down. So this is a good start here to the second half for the Spartans.
1st and 10 from the 15. Just send Swink out to the right. But it's going to be a handoff to, he didn't catch a jersey number there. Delina, I believe that is, Mikey Delina.
Yep.
Out to the gain of about the length of the football, Dan.
Yeah, and Mannion did a good job there coming from that linebacker spot to get the tackle in there.
So we'll see how the Spartans react being inside the red zone for the first time tonight. And their second snap this will be. Webb's going to hand, it's going to be inside handoff. They're going to try to run that inside sally the Red Tornadoes run to Piccano. It was a little clunky and didn't go anywhere. Lose 2 yards to bring up 3rd and 12.
Yeah, and Jim, it looked like, it's a well-designed play when things work out, but the Mount Carmel defensive line got upfield and kind of just held tough. Piccano got the ball and ran into his own blockers, it looked like.
Yeah, there's a lot of movement there, and you have to get it just right. So again, 3rd and 12 here for the Spartans. Webb's going to fake the same play, and he's going to roll to his right. He'll throw it to Piccano, who's, we'll see, it's going to be well short of a first down. They'll say it is complete, and then he dropped it after the catch, fumbled out of bounds. So it's going to bring up 4th and about 8 from the 14.
Jim, a lot of wholesale changes here. Maybe a field goal attempt?
That's going to be what it looks like, Dan. So that's number 22. And again, we don't have a 22. So I'm going to listen very closely. Do you hear swank, Dan? Is that? It's a high snap. And that's going to be low and to the left, so that'll be short. And the Red Tornadoes will take over 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line with 8:28 left in the 3rd quarter and a 47-0 lead.
Yeah, Jim, that Red Tornado defense holds tough there after giving up that first down. Did a good job of kind of taking over and kind of toughening up there. And like you said, it was a little bit of a high snap there for, I think Webb was holding.
Yeah, and he did a nice job getting it down.
Yeah, he did a really nice job getting it down, but everything kind of developed a little bit slower than normal there.
And for the first time tonight, Dan, we're going to see Feliciano take that snap. So he'll hand it to yet to be named Red Tornado. Give us a second here. Yeah, that'll be Backus. Good look, Dan. And he'll pick up a yard.
Yeah, so Jim, this is a little bit more of what we, this is kind of a lot of the JV guys, this is what their JV offense looks like. So we'll get to see the future of this Red Tornado team looks like.
Backus is going to go in motion, but Feliciano's going to keep this one himself. He does a nice job cutting back in the middle of the field. He'll get across the 30 and pick up a first down. They will move the chain, so nice run there by Feliciano. And the Red Tornadoes pick up their first down of the second half.
Yeah, Feliciano is a very talented runner at the quarterback spot, as the Red Tornadoes have kind of continued to have throughout the years here. He fits the mold pretty well.
Again, if you notice the clock moving, given the score and where we are in the game, that clock will continue to run in the second half. And this time it's going to be Garrett Verano running on that inside handoff that we've talked about that play, Dan, that play that whether Widener, Burkowski, and Pupo, and now we see Verano as well, and he'll get out near the first down, pickup of 8.
Yeah, you'll see Verano in there at that position. You'll also see at some point tonight, I'm thinking we'll see number 18, Jacob Zarski, in there as well at that spot. And they all just are quick and hit the hole.
It's Backus that time, and Backus does a nice job of getting right through the hole. Again, a nice job by the line as well. Backus was 5 or 6 yards down the field before he saw a green jersey, and it'll be a first down, and they'll move forward.
Yeah, Backus did a really nice job of finding the hole there, and there was a big hole for him to find.
A lot of the guys out there for the Red Tornadoes now we've called out before. Again, Backus is out there. I see number 45, Michael Reed. I'm not sure we've called his name yet tonight, so he's out there. He'll be in that tight end position. And the Red Tornadoes are going to snap it to the up back. They're going to fight hard out near the first down marker.
And Jim, I think that was Davitt in that up back spot.
That's who it's going to be, Dan. You're right. And the Red Tornadoes, as they seemingly continue to do everything right tonight, called that right as the Spartans dialed up a linebacker blitz.
And Jim, I don't know if that was some sort of a adjustment made at the at the line, but it seemed that way. They saw the linebackers coming and decided that that's what they were going to do.
Backus in motion, but Feliciano's going to keep it himself now. He gets upended right at the line of scrimmage by number 58, Hayden Robbins. So nice play there, made there by Robbins.
Yeah,
bring up third and about a foot for the Red Tornadoes.
Jim, now it looks as though the Spartans have kind of just decided that they're going to sell out up the middle and send everyone. This is if you play any Madden at home, this is the Engage 8 blitz. You send 8 of your guys up the middle.
And they're going to hand it to Backus, but again, and Dan, great call on that one. All the green jerseys are going to make sure he doesn't get the first down. He's going to lose about half a yard, so it's going to be 4th and 1. And I'm thinking Coach Darrow's going to go for this only because he's not going to send Chapman out there to punt.
Yeah, you see a lot of the guys over there with their coats on, warming, trying to stay warm. But little Wildcat type offense from the JV squad here with Mannion going in at quarterback and Feliciano going to the sideline.
So 4th and 1. Mannion takes the snap. The snap's on the ground, and he'll do a nice job of falling on it, but the Spartans will take over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line. So a great job there by the Spartan defense, holding strong and turning the Red Tornadoes away.
Yeah, that was almost sort of like a goal line stand there, Jim. They had 2nd and very short, and were able to make 3 big stops to turn it over on downs. Good job of the Spartan defense.
Looking at the Red Tornado defense right now, again, we've talked about most of these fellas that are out there getting some good time in. Trying to see if we're missing anybody. But this is going to be a handoff to the Spartans to Yoakum, and a nice tackle there made by Tom David, upending him after a gain of 3.
A nice tackle there by David coming from that linebacker spot. Also have, I'm trying to see here, Jim. That was,
looks like Finella's out there on the far corner.
Yeah. Make sure we get everybody.
Webb is going to hand off to Yoakum again off that left side. And a nice tackle there made by Verano, close to the first down marker. We'll see if they move the sticks or not. And they will, so another first down for the Spartans. Nice rush there by Yoakum.
And you know, Jim, with that wing split type wing tee that the Spartans are running, you saw Finella come from the far side of the field. And both of the corners, again, you're going to see it, are on the same side of the field. So that puts a lot of pressure on Verano out there to play safety and outside contain. He's doing a good job of it, though.
That time it's going to be a quick handoff right up the middle. The Red Tornadoes are ready for that one. But not before Yoakum gets 3 for a 2nd and 7. 2:25 left here in the third quarter. Again, a running clock. The Red Tornadoes on top 47-0.
Yeah, Red Tornadoes defense, again, looking to get another stop here after a Spartan first down. And possibly another chance to turn the ball over and give it back to their offense.
Webb hands it to Delina off the right side. He's dragged down by 16, Feliciano, so a nice tackle there. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, so another 3rd down here for the Spartans.
3rd down along 4.
Look to see. I think so far they are not doing too well on 3rd down conversions. So we'll see if they're able to get one here.
One thing we got to call out, we kind of talked about it a little bit. Temperature continues to drop here in Hughesville, and credit to the fans on both sides. I mean, this game is a little out of hand. It had been pretty early on, and here we're going to see Pequeno throw it again, and he finds Swink. Does a nice job of making the catch around the 12-yard line, so they'll pick up the first down after 3rd down. Or pick up the first down on 3rd down, excuse me.
Yeah, Jim, it looked as though Finella didn't know the ball was being thrown. He kind of started to come back towards the play, thinking that to come up and run support, and the ball floated over his head. That's kind of on the sideline guys to be yelling out pass and ball to let him know that ball's in the air and coming his way.
1st and 10 from the 14 for the Spartans. It's going to be Delina again, and he'll fight hard down to the 11, so nice couple yards there. Delina, the team's leading rusher coming into tonight. 43 carries for 227 yards and a pair of touchdowns.
Yeah, good job by the Red Tornado defensive front there. It looked like all the defensive linemen on that tackle, Aaron Elliott, Backus, Kellen Geary, and trying to see who it is over on that other end. Is that Matt Chicatano?
We'll see. They're going to go opposite of whomever that is. Right to the 10 with Yoakum again. So, let's see what we can do for you here, Dan. Again, definitely Matt Chicatano is out there, but that's the end of the 3rd quarter. It snuck up on us with this running clock. So again, after 3, the Red Tornadoes are on top of the Spartans, 47-0.
Yeah, Jim, the Red Tornadoes, as we come back here for this 4th quarter, we'll see. This Red Tornado kind of, and we talked about a lot of the JV players getting their opportunity here in this game. We want to see, and it looks as though they are playing against the Hughesville Spartan first team.
Well, and I think the Spartans are in a position in much the same way the Red Tornadoes are, in that, for one, you don't really have the numbers.
Right.
You can't always field a full-blown JV team. And the other side is, I mean, we have the roster, we have some form of it. We certainly miss a couple guys, and we apologize to them and anybody listening on their behalf. But this is a young squad.
They absolutely are.
So, and we talk about it all the time. We're fortunately, the Red Tornadoes have been in this position a few times the last few years where you're up big late and you can get some guys some reps. And the Spartan sideline is just trying to get their guys some reps as well. And Pequeno is going to read his keys and roll to the right and give him another yard. It's going to bring up 4th and a long 4 from the 10-yard line. So certainly make it to 9. So certainly the Spartans' best opportunity to score tonight.
Yeah, they continue to move the ball down deep into the red zone here.
And they're going to go with a hard count there. And they'll get an offsides on the Red Tornadoes. So this looks like, Dan, and I'm trying to get a look. That's going to be one of those fun ones that you like, where the stick is just outside the goal line, so you can get a first down without scoring, but you got to try. And that looks like what they're going to do is the ball, trying to see exactly where the ball will be marked. The far side's a little deceiving. It's actually out back at the 4. Initially, when they were moving, they were much closer to the goal line. They're going to hand that to Yoakum, and Yoakum's going to fight through, and Yoakum's going to get in for a Spartan touchdown. They'll be on the board here with 10:55 left in the 4th quarter. The Spartans will remove that goose egg from the scoreboard, and momentarily it'll be 47-6 with the PAT pending.
Yeah, nice little run there by Yoakum. Good job kind of fighting through some contact and working his way into the end zone there to get that first Spartan score.
And the extra point is up and good. And so it'll be 47-7. Again, tonight's broadcast, courtesy of Joe Gushin in the Vine Street Sandwich Shop. So we certainly thank you for that. We thank all of you for listening tonight, Mount Carmel, Hughesville alike. It's a cool thing we got to do tonight, this joint venture with Hughesville High School. We've enjoyed it. I'm sure you have as well. And, you know, we're doing a lot of things we haven't done before, right? This is a cool thing. And one thing that has to be said tonight, Dan, is a happy birthday to Mr. McPhee.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy birthday, Mr. McPhee. I don't think there's any place he'd rather be than doing his thing with his TV studio kids here.
Now, I know we were talking earlier about who was going to wish him happy birthday, but ultimately I took the lead on it because I don't want to bum you out, but I've had a couple conversations with him where I know he doesn't necessarily listen when you're talking. So
there's not a whole lot of people that do, though, Jim. So he would be joining a long list.
The Spartan kickoff is going to be fielded by number 11, Mannion. And Mannion does a nice job returning it out to the 46-yard line. But there's a flag on the play. It'll be against the Red Tornado, so they'll take that one back. Now, it's never a positive to have a penalty, but what we can say is there haven't been many of them tonight.
Yeah, there definitely has not been many tonight. And, Jim, we don't want to talk too much about last year because this is a different Red Tornado team. But last year, there were a lot of games where the Red Tornadoes plagued themselves with multiple penalties for a lot of yardage.
Sure.
And we haven't seen that a whole lot this year so far. And I'm going to knock on wood here. Hopefully we don't see that a whole lot throughout the rest of the season.
Mannion he's not under center. He's rarely going to be under center. Any of these Red Tornado quarterbacks are. But it's Feliciano who's going to take the snap. Not Mannion anyway, but he'll hand it to Zarski. So Jacob Zarski in there. Again, another guy that's had a lot of success coming up through on the freshman and JV level. He'll pick up 7, bring up 2nd and 3.
Yeah, nice little run there by Zarski. Did a good job kind of reading his blocks and getting up in the hole. We're going to continue to talk about just all of these Red Tornado running backs, top to bottom on the depth chart, do a really nice job, have really good vision, and make the right cuts very often.
Now this time it'll be Mannion, and Mannion doing a nice job of picking his route as across the 40 all the way out to the 44-yard line. So a big run there by Mannion. And he's the one currently occupying that Widener role. He's kind of in Feliciano's hip pocket.
Yeah, Jim, Mannion, not a really huge kid, but definitely runs like it. He runs like he's the bus back there. And he's, kind of got that tall and lanky frame, but he's a tough kid.
5'11", 170, but this time it's going to be Zarski again. And Zarski's picking his way, and he had a seam, so he'll pick up another Red Tornado first down. Nice job by Jacob Zarski.
Yeah, that's another one there by Zarski. Just, he's a little scat back. He does a good job kind of picking his way through. But when it comes to the end of the play, he doesn't have a problem putting his head down and going at the contact and fighting for that extra yard and a half.
Coming up on 8.5 left in this one. 47-7 Red Tornadoes. That's going to be a high snap and a handoff to Mannion. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage.
and did a good job of just doing that, Jim. Just getting back to that line of scrimmage. It was a tough spot for Mannion to be in.
Looks like number 15, Ben Hidley, is going to come in as well. He'll send Garankowski out. So check out what the Red Tornadoes do here. Zarski and Davitt are in that wing slot to the right. Zarski comes in motion. They're going to hand it to him. He's going to get outside now. He does what all those good running backs do. Now he's in the open field, and it's a foot race. And he's got one guy to beat, and he can't do it. A nice tackle there made by number 3 for the Spartans. And unfortunately, he'll have to settle for a nice tackle made by number 3. He's another one we don't have on our roster.
Yeah, Jim. But a nice run there by Zarski. And something Zarski, I believe, was at Supper Club 2 weeks ago, and I just wanted to mention something that Coach Dara had said about Jacob, is that he's probably the fastest guy on the team.
Wow.
So that was a nice job there by number 3 making the tackle, because it's the fastest guy on the team you're running down.
Open and a high snap. Feliciano's going to have to fall on it. He can't do it. It'll squirt away from the Spartans. Are going to recover at the Red Tornado the Spartan 46-yard line. So another Red Tornado scoring drive will be dashed. Their hopes will be dashed with a turnover.
Yeah.
But yeah, you talked about Zarski at Supper Club.
Yep.
And I think we should all talk about Supper Club, as we often do here. For those of you who aren't aware, Supper Club is an opportunity for fans, family, friends alike to sit and meet with Red Tornadoes coaches and players, as well as cheerleaders, band members, TV studios. And where do you do that, you might ask? Well, you get yourself to Matucci's Willow Street Cafe every Thursday night of the football season in the back room at 6:15 p.m. That's when it starts. You probably want to be there early, because you will not get a seat if you show up at 6:15. I can promise you that. Again, Matucci's Willow Street Cafe in Mount Carmel, back room, before 6:15 p.m. every Thursday night of the football season for good food and good conversation.
Yeah, Jim, it's not just, we talk about it. It's not just good food and good conversation. It's usually great food and even better conversation.
Okay, Dan.
Every week you get the trivia question. There's a lot of cool, neat stuff that this Mount Carmel fan base gets to partake in, and Supper Club being just one of them.
And the Spartans are going to continue powering forward here. Webb will hand it to number 33, Kelby Gordner, another freshman. So again, a lot of youth on the field. It's good to see. 3rd and 6, 5.5 left in this one. Dan, what's going on around the heartland, around the region tonight? You got any scores anywhere for us?
Yeah, let me take a look here.
See what we can do. These are courtesy of ScoreStream.
Yeah. We'll plug in there for ScoreStream too. There you go.
This is going to be a handoff.
Oh, he's got some room.
To number 7, Devin Swank off the left side. He does a nice job catching the corner. He'll be drug out of bounds by Finella, but not before he gets a first down all the way down to the Red Tornado 34-yard line. So again, these young Spartans continue to show heart, do a terrific job of continuing on.
Yeah, very nice run there, Jim. I got some area scores just in general, not just Heartland, but we got some area scores too. Central Columbia is currently on top of South Williamsport 14-7.
It's a little closer than I was expecting.
Yeah, definitely is. Central Columbia has been playing really well throughout the season, but South Williamsport playing well this week. Warrior Run is on top of Bloomsburg 35-7. We're going to have a meeting with Bloomsburg here in, I think, 2 weeks.
Yes.
After our meeting with South Williamsport next week.
Hughesville will be at Bloomsburg next week, so little heads up for you guys.
Okay, there you go. And North Schuylkill in a barn burner with Tamaqua. They are up 14-12 in the 3rd quarter currently.
Wow.
Montoursville's up 43-14 on Danville. Selinsgrove up 20-0 on Shamokin.
There's another team I'm often curious about, as we see number 33 Gordner get to the outside. Nice rush there. There's another team I'm often curious about, Dan, from the area. They wear black and gold.
Well, let's see here. I have to continue to scroll. They kind of pushed that one down.
Look for the
And
biggest
there we
number
go.
next to it, their name.
Yeah, there we go. Fourth quarter, Southern Columbia is up 56-6 on Jersey Shore currently. So that score that was in the second quarter has held true through another quarter and a half, it looks like.
This will be a handoff and a great play by Mannion. They try to hand it to Swank on the reverse, and Mannion's going to sniff that out immediately and drag him down 8 yards in the backfield. No, more than that, make it 9. So a great play by Cam Mannion.
Yeah, very nice play there by Mannion, Jim. And one other score I've got here for you. Berwick area, after their first loss of the season last week, coming back in big fashion, up 40-0 on Hazelton.
We got another penalty here against the Red Tornadoes on a hard count, so they'll get some of those yards. The Spartans, that is, will get some of those yards back. But what did you say that Berwick score was?
40-0.
40-0. So the best defense Coach Carm has coached in his career is pitching a shutout tonight, Dan.
Pitching a shutout.
How do you feel
they had a
about
rough
that?
week last week. But doing a nice job of coming back. Must have made some changes on that defense. Coach Carm's very good defensive coach.
The handoff to Gordner. Gordner will fight hard to get back to the initial line of scrimmage, which is the 14. So it'll be just a little bit ahead of the first line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd and 9 with 2:10 left in this one. Again, the Red Tornadoes on top 47-7, courtesy of touchdowns by 7 different Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, Jim, I don't know how often that happens. I'm assuming if it was some sort of record, Jose would have let us know. But it's pretty impressive that that many different athletes put the ball in the end zone.
Nice tackle there made for the Red Tornadoes by number 66, Matt Chicatano, dragging the ball carrier down in the backfield. That's going to bring up 4th and 12.
Yeah, really good pursuit there from the Red Tornadoes on that sort of outside run, I would assume. And they're going for another field goal attempt here.
See what they're going to do. The kick is low, and it's going to be no good. So it'll stay 47-7. The Red Tornadoes will take over on downs with 1:15 left in this one.
Like you said here, Jim, I'm assuming this is probably going to be the last time the Red Tornado offense takes the field for the night.
So we'll see what they do. How Coach Darrah wants to address this.
Well, with these young guys in there, you don't really want to kneel on the ball. You kind of want to still give them their opportunities, get them their touches.
And he will give it. See who that was carrying the football there. That's number 1.
I think it's Brian Trent.
Brian Trent, yes sir. That's his first carry of the night we've seen, so it does a nice job picking up about 5. As we approach 30 seconds. So it's going to be Feliciano again. He rolls out to his right. Now he goes back to left. Now he's just going to run. Does a nice job getting away from one tackler. Now a second. And he's going to go down, but not before he picks up about 25 yards. He'll be out to the 48-yard line, and that's going to do it here at Harold L. Schaefer Stadium, where the Red Tornadoes made the trip and are heading home with a 47-7 victory.
Yeah, and the Red Tornadoes did a really nice job tonight with a dominating offensive and defensive performance. You know, that one touchdown kind of came late off of the short field, so you can't really put that as a something to kind of negate what the defense did throughout the entire game.
Yeah, and I think when we talked about it, both offensively and defensively, it started up front. So we've kind of gotten this habit of calling out players of the game, and admittedly, sometimes maybe we we pick one when we could pick multiple.
Right.
And so I think tonight it's only right on the Red Tornado side. We're going to pick just the line.
Yeah.
We're going to take offensively and defensively, so that's going to give us Schrock, Mikowski, Erb, Nestico, and Kelly.
And you know, and we got to give credit to everyone that kind of shuffled in there too tonight.
Absolutely.
You know, that's that starting offensive line, that starting five, and that defensive line with starting defensive line with Daukus, Chili, Mikowski, and Wills. But everyone that shuffled in there tonight did their job and did exactly what they needed to do, and they did a really good job of it.
And then for the Spartans, again, I think it's probably Yoakum, Mr. Yoakum. He had a nice night for himself carrying the ball.
Yep.
He's certainly a workhorse.
Yeah.
He took a lot of those carries in between the tackles, those 3 yards in a cloud of dust type carries that you'll feel in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think a lot of the Hughesville Spartan players are going to be feeling this one in the morning. Mount Carmel played very physical tonight, and that's a testament to that offensive and defensive line going back to it. They're the ones that start everything up front.
Yeah, again, we mentioned it earlier. The Red Tornadoes, again, 47-7 victors tonight. They'll be home next week against South Williamsport. Hughesville will be on the road heading down I-80. Well, down and then I guess across, right? Across 80 to Bloomsburg, that is. So they'll play the Panthers there. Again, just a terrific night tonight for the Red Tornadoes. And it was a cool night here, too. There was a lot going on at the stadium for Hughesville. And then we got to do this cool joint broadcast with the Hughesville TV studio. Haven't done something like that before, so we had an opportunity to do that. Again, I want to thank the Vine Street Sandwich Shop and Joe Gushin specifically for their efforts to sponsor this broadcast tonight. Now, you saw what you saw. We talked about what we talked about, but Dan, do you have any numbers to back it up?
Yeah, again, courtesy of Mr. Jose Gonzalo down on the sideline, getting that. Thank you, Jose, for getting those to me quickly tonight, because I am going to have to get out of here. But Red Tornadoes, 37 carries for 282 yards, 5 of 6 passing for 123 yards. So that's 405 total yards of offense for the Red Tornadoes tonight. Jersey Shore, Jersey Shore, I'm sorry. The Hughesville Spartans, 38 carries for 39 yards. 2 of 7 passing for 36 yards. So 76 total yards of offense. So a big bump. That's 87 offensive yards in the second half compared to the negative 11 in the first half. So that's a big bump and a good job to the Spartans for kind of not quitting.
Yeah, but quitting is about, I think, where we're going to go. Again, one last birthday shout out to Mr. McPhee. I hope he can't hear me right now. But we will have a good night. We hope you do the same. If you're traveling home, be safe. Again, I'm Jimmy Lesko.
And I'm Dan Lesko.
And for Jose Gonzalo, this has been WKMC TV. We will see you next week.